Today, we are very excited to present about taking infrastructure as code to enterprise scale. And we're going to walk you through the process of showing you how RackN brings CI/CD pipelines to infrastructure as code. And that is what delivers control, consistency, and choice for every type of infrastructure. I'm your presenter in the first phase, Rob Hirschfeld. I'm CEO and co-founder of RackN, and I'm going to be taking you a little bit through RackN's history and the problem statement. Greg Althaus is going to take over when we get into demos, and by design, most of this presentation will be demos. So without further ado, I'm going to try and get you to those demos as quickly as possible. RackN is a company that's been around for a while doing infrastructure as code work. Our experience with infrastructure as code actually goes all the way back to a time when the founders of the team were at Dell doing a project that some of you might know of as Crowbar. That was with the first OpenStack installer. None of that code exists today in anything RackN does, but the experience, the battle scars, and the things we learned are all there. And it's important because really we started from this mission of making autonomous data centers, systems that build themselves. And what we learned in that process is that we had to do this as software. We had to build a control plane for infrastructure that people could modify and add and collaborate around in ways they hadn't before. And that's really important because our customers say something very consistent. They want the operations experience for their systems and their infrastructure, whether it's cloud, on premises, or edge, to be a much more developer-like process. That CI/CD experience, the Git experience, reusable code and modularity, that needs to exist for operators, and that's exactly what RackN does. And it comes out of this deep frustration where what we've seen and what we've heard is our customers have great tools, right? The Terraforms and Ansibles that actually can work and do a lot of this lift, but they're very hard to use consistently. And they have great people. Our customers have amazing operators who really care about their jobs and really know what they're doing, but don't have the control of the processes because they're typically put into a box with just their own team. And we have great vendors. We work deeply with hardware vendors, and I can tell you the hardware is actually very good today. We work with cloud vendors. The clouds are amazing, as everybody knows. And we're watching this happen, but we're also seeing this explosion of complexity because there's so much choice. And so our customers really want help solving these problems. And what we see, to put it in non-technical terms, is it would be like if you were building a house and your electricians came in and the ones working in the bedroom were doing US plugs, the ones in the living room were doing European plugs, and the ones in the kitchen were just making stuff up and wiring things together with wire nuts. That's what IT feels like. And it's even worse because then once the sheetrockers come in and they put all that electronics and wiring behind the covers, you don't know what's done. And somebody shows up with a log4j bug and says your wiring is going to catch on fire, and you don't even know what was done anywhere. That's what IT is like at the enterprise scale. And it's not that we can't do the work, but we don't have ways to actually coordinate it. Even within a single team, what we see over and over again is that a team is building their own integrations part to part. They're doing their own Terraform work, and then they're integrating it over into Ansible. They're building custom bash. The fact of this heterogeneity, even inside of teams, is really destructive from an enterprise management, enterprise control, and scale, right? And it's even worse when you start going across teams, trying to help teams work everywhere. And that's exactly how we've been helping customers grow and be managed in the infrastructure. And what we're going to be showing you today is based on years of experience, massive deployments. We'll talk about those in a minute. But fundamentally, what we're doing is not replacing the individual tools, not recreating things that already exist, but helping connect them together. So this infrastructure pipeline concept, where we're really eliminating those IT silos by being able to walk through every step of the process in a uniform and consistent way. Actually, even more than uniform and consistent, we're doing it as infrastructure as code, which means that you can take reusable modules, that the things that our customers use, they can actually use team to team to team, or they can pull things right out of RackN's library and use those to accomplish these very heavy lift IT operations. So what is our product? Digital Rebar is a 4th generation platform, and it's customer managed autonomous control. So it's actually software that our customers install and run in their data center at their sites, and it will perform bare metal and edge operations, so all the way down to that level, and it'll do cloud and hybrid cloud and virtual machine management also in the same platform across the board. Because in the reality, when you break these systems down, they have much more in common than they have separately. It's important to note we are an enterprise product, so we have enterprise integrations. We go deep in with single sign-on and shared secrets and all the things that enterprise needs. And we'll show this quite a bit in demos. We're an integrated multi-site system. So we're actually able to help customers with globally distributed footprints that want autonomy within their infrastructure. We don't do this as a SaaS. Our customers actually run the software. We're not in trying to help or work with the systems as a remote connection. The customers actually run it themselves. And that's in part of RackN's DNA. It's why we do infrastructure as code. Because when we fix automation or when our customers improve something, they want to be able to reuse it. That's what makes this a platform. And I want to really reinforce that whole concept because it is the differentiator in how we think about infrastructure as code from anybody else in the market. When we build automation, we build it for every customer. Our customers don't have unique versions of automation. They don't have unique versions of digital rebar. It is a product, and it is software at the automation level. And that means that we can use the same modules, components, and processes on-prem, edge, and cloud, right? Our customers don't want to be told, well, that's Amazon, and you manage it this way, and that's bare metal from Dell, and you manage it this way. That isn't a good story. It doesn't help our enterprises scale at all. They want to have consistent, repeatable operational strategies that work across all of their infrastructures and also respects that those infrastructures are different and have different needs. And the other thing that's really important, and one of the breakthroughs that we've been bringing into infrastructure as code, is this isn't just about that day one provisioning experience. You have to do that really well, don't get me wrong. That's an important part of our story. But what we've really seen working with customers is they have to continue operating these environments. It's a day two problem, and they need to fix that. And we're going to be showing you some of that in the demo. Instead of me telling you that we can do it, I like to prove it. Before I dive into the demo is grounded on customer experience. And RackN has significant customer footprint doing infrastructure as code work. We're helping a major cloud service provider deploy 20,000 virtual VMware hosts in their footprint and growing that rapidly. Right? We allow them to just turn on and start sites, actually completely autonomously. We help financial institutions save millions of dollars by allowing them to have a diverse supply chain, reverse auction, and bid different hardware vendors against each other. We're not always hardware vendors' friends in this case, but we allow new vendors to come into banks and actually get proven and then expanded the footprint. And in supply chain crises we have today, being able to switch vendors or change vendors when you can't get a product is critical. We help media and gaming companies do CI/CD integration and deployment, where they're doing 2,000 integrated CI/CD deployments per day and actually able to run through a system all the way down to the bare metal where they're continually reviewing and updating and patching their systems. We're helping cell phone companies actually build out their cell phone networks where they have to do tens of thousands of towers, little IT data centers. We're actually providing the automation that allows them to just start and run those infrastructures without having to send out trucks or have manual effort in that. And then we're helping companies actually meet financial regulations. So one of the things that's required for banks, especially post 9/11, is that they can actually reset entire data centers, bring new data centers up in under a week. It was taking months to do that process. We're actually helping them take shipments of gear, bring it online, and actually have it up and in production in an hour. So truly transformative changes. And once they're able to do that, then they start applying those same principles to their infrastructure, and they can do resets and actually rebuild full racks of gear during coffee break.
Yeah, how do you avoid customizing modules for customers? I mean, I understand that you have to create a module in order for it to work for every customer, like you said. It has to be something that you think will fit 80% of your market, right? I mean, or at least, be something that's helpful to 80% of your customers. So how do you avoid custom scripts and custom code and custom modules? How do you do that?
That's a really good question. It's something that has been part of our DNA in solving that problem from day one, because that customization is exactly what prevents us from being able to lift and reuse the code. The way we do that is we lean in to the fact that every data center, every site is different. Every customer is different. And what we've done in building infrastructure pipelines, this is why the concept is so important. We sometimes call this a universal application, and you'll see that in the demo. It's the same concept. But what we've been able to do is take a standard sequence of operations, but then extend it so it has known extension points. So we can take the code that we're doing, which shows up in green here, and actually put it around places where you can do custom scripts, you can add in additional tasks. We don't say that you can't do that. You have to do that. But then you can put them in places that have known extension points, just like extending a module in code, and then carry those back into the system. So what we've done is we've anticipated through our experience in working with customers, the places that they need to extend the systems, and then made it very easy for them to do it. And one of the other components of this, everything's infrastructure is code. They don't have to put a patch in or do it ad hoc. They actually get to use the same infrastructure as code bundling and content systems and get components that we use and then add in their pieces and version control and manage it across their sites.
So what is the scripting? What do they use for the scripting? Is it PowerShell? What are they using?
They use what they need to use. So the system is actually able to work Windows, Linux, VMware, but by definition, we use the tools that they need to use. So we're not imposing PowerShell or Bash or Terraform or Ansible. Every customer we have usually has something unique. They have a lot of systems to string together. That's the normal. And what we've done is make it easier to string all those pieces together without having to force a conformance into the system.
All right, so what does that mean? Does that mean that how do you support all of those different things? Like, do you support them?
We do support them. And what you'll see is that the actual variance, once we've built infrastructure as code modules around this, is not as large as you might think. And we've given them places where that variance can be self-contained. So rather than approaching it as a toolbox, which we have some customers who do, the infrastructure pipelines allow them to take a standard pipeline or pieces of a standard pipeline and then put it together in a standard way. We'll show you this, and I want to make sure we are able to show instead of me trying to tell.
Quick question here: when you talk about scalability in largely distributed environments, so edge, etc. So what do you mean? I mean, do you have some number to share with us in terms of how scalable is this kind of system?
I'd be happy to. So our largest customer is running 40 globally distributed sites. And one of the sites, because of the way they chose to set up the system, is actually running 10,000 machines at that one site. The system has both vertical scale from the number of machines that it can manage, but also, and we'll show you with the multi-site management, horizontal scale so that you can manage individual sites in a controlled way.
Do you have any specific optimization for, very small but extensive network of sites, like in edge use cases, so retail chain with hundreds of very small sites, for example?
We do, and we'll show you exactly how that operates. It's been part of the sort of the multi-site way that we build a distributed infrastructure.